Valdez first kind of come onto your guys' radar?
Yeah, we were looking at him before he went to Valencia. He had been at Rubin Kazan, where Obo was at, and we've tried to get to him. We've talked to him, had different conversations with him, but he's been a guy we've followed really closely over the years.
Sure, and a lot of attacking firepower up top. Where ideally do you see him slotting in there?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing with him, he's a smart player. He knows where to move. He can play up top. When he was at Eintracht Frankfurt last year, he played some games on the right. So he's a guy who can adjust to the game and gets in good spots. He's smart in his movement. So when you have good players like that, you just get them on the field and they'll find their role.
Sure.
He mentioned that he had been wanting to make this move for about the last 2 years. I mean, was this something that you guys knew he was interested in, even from the initial overtures that you guys were making?
Yeah, it's been a test of my German. I haven't lived in Germany in 20 years, so we would speak German together. So, you know, he expressed his interest. The timing had to be right for him and his family, and I think it worked out with the timing. We were glad that we were able to get it into this window. And I think for him, there's a lot of things separate from just playing that he takes into account, and I think there's a lot of things we can help him settle with his family.
Both signings, or the most, well, I guess all three signings of this transfer window were all situations that were like multi-years in the process, where there was contact going back. When you're first contacting someone, is that kind of what you keep in mind, that it might not happen this week, but you know, a couple years down the road, things may be different?
Yeah, I mean, we feel better about our scouting when we spent this much time and it doesn't feel reactionary. So I think we always try and look ahead. There's many times you're going and scouting a player and you see 2 or 3 others during that time, and that's when you make the first contacts and you try and follow a guy. And you know, we have a list, an ongoing list by position of which guys we're tracking, and yeah, we feel confident when it's a guy we put a lot of work into.
A lot of players come into the league. I mean, what do you attribute that to? Is it the money? Is it the timing? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, I'd say it's a combination of all of that. I think it's the new money coming into the league. I think it's the reputation of Major League Soccer around the world now. You're getting players who are coming in good times in their career. And it's a country that many of these players come to on vacation. They feel comfortable. Their families want to come. They'll get paid. It's safe. There's a lot of reasons why players want to come, but I think some of our job also is selling a player on Seattle and what we have here and the growth of such a young club and where we're at.
The old league did the same thing, and it didn't end so well. How do you think this is different?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching the Sounders here in the 70s and 80s, and it's just a different time for soccer in America than it was back then.
They won't all be on the field, of course, but in terms of rosters, star power, caps, everything, is this Sounders LA sort of remarkable for sort of an MLS pioneer to see that this collection of talent is all gathered in just a regular league game?
Yeah, I mean, to see where the league has come from '96 and with regard to facilities and players, and to see the amount of stars that are on each of these rosters and throughout the league really is exciting for me to see. I feel like I was part of building something really exciting, and to still be part of it in some ways makes me really happy.
Do you find as you talk to players that they're more receptive or knowledgeable about the league maybe than they were even 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty rare when you come across a player who hasn't seen a game and knows what's going on here. In the early years, you know, players said, "Oh, yeah, I might come there." You know, later in my career, they didn't really know anything about it. But the knowledge of the league and players and agents and, you know, everything that comes with that is also coming to our country.